I'm live on Instagram and I'm live on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. So, welcome, welcome. So happy to see you here. My name is Hadass. I'm a life coach, I'm a well being advocate, and hey, Daniel, nice to see you. So much fun. I love it when people are on live. So, if you are on live, then say hello, drop a message, and I've got three screens going here, so it might be a little difficult to keep track sometimes, but hey, why not? Anyway, first of all, I wanted to wish everyone who celebrates a happy Lunar New Year. As you can see, I've got if you're watching me on StreamYard, because I don't have backgrounds on TikTok or Instagram, that's a little too tricky. But on the other ones, I have the new moon as my background. And why does it do this? And I have the new moon as my background because it is not only the Lunar New Year, it is also Rosh Chodesh, the beginning of the Hebrew month of Shvat. That is tonight and tomorrow. So this is my monthly lunar background. So happy new month, happy new year, whether you're into bunnies or almond trees. It's a new beginning and it's always a good thing. So, tonight I want to talk about this thing that came to me. And I was running actually the other day and I was watching. Well, a bit lately, I've been listening to Brene Brown, to Gabrielle Bernstein, um, you know, people who work a lot on the mind, the forgiveness, healing, and so on. And hello, Kaylee. And the way it works is so like I run, I listen, and then stuff pops up on my screen now and then. And it was a message from someone that I know. And I was just looking at what the person messaged, and the thought just came into my mind, uh, um, which is their wounds are not mine to heal. And I immediately felt better about not playing their game at that moment. Okay, Leah, I don't know what you mean by do you do yes, no. I have three screens going, so I may or may not be able to keep track of different conversations, but I can give it a try. What can I say? So, this concept of other people's wounds not being ours to heal, it's really important because, especially if you come from a background of a lot of psychologists, a lot of therapists, I was just thinking about my mother of blessed memory. In March, it will be 20 years that she passed away. And it's a long time. And I was thinking about her because, she was a very complex person. She was a deeply wounded person. And of course, as so many complex and deeply wounded people, she became a psychotherapist because, when you're trying to heal yourself, very often you're pulled towards trying to help others heal. And it's important to realize that people cannot fix each other. I know so many people who spend their lives trying to fix other people, whether it's their family members, their children, their spouses, especially their spouses. Oh my God, people spend so much time and energy trying to fix their spouses. Um, what? Um, Sometimes I wonder why I go live on TikTok when I do this. It's such a distraction. Um, anyway, we spend so much time trying to fix other people, and it's just not something that we can do. And it's really hard to accept sometimes that it reminds me of this stupid light bulb joke that my mother used to find it amusing. It was how many psychotherapists does it take to change a light bulb? And the answer was only one psychotherapist, but the light bulb has to really want to change. So I don't know, there was a time when light bulb jokes were the whole thing. But anyway, this was one that she particularly found amusing. And it's a cliche, of course. You can only change when you want to change, etc., etc. And yet, and yet, we keep trying to heal other people's wounds. And you know what? It's hard enough to heal our own. In fact, it's much easier in many ways. What was it that said something about the beam in your eye and the mote in the others? I think it's a Christian thing. I'm not sure of the exact terminology. Maybe somebody can tell me. It doesn't matter. The point is that it's a pretty universal concept, that it's a lot easier to see what's wrong with other people than it is to see your own wounds, right? So we always know exactly what's best for other people, but we don't always we're not always willing to accept what's best for us, right? So it takes a pretty large measure of humility, I think, to understand how impossible it is to fix other people or to heal other people's wounds. And the thing is that people might not even want to be fixed or to be healed, and that's a whole different story. As the joke said, the light bulb has to really want to change. But I was listening to somebody yesterday. He was doing his Facebook Live, and he made a comment that I really liked. He said, um, I don't remember the exact details, but it basically came down to healing from trauma is not a do-it-yourself project, which I thought was a really good way to put it. So yes, therapists are important, coaches are important, psychologists are important, whoever is going to help people with their wounds, but the fact remains that they can't fix you. I mean, you see the same thing with medical stuff. Doctors and nurses and all the things they can, like for instance, if you break your leg, they can set it for you. They can't make it heal. You have to heal all by yourself. They can make everything as favorable as possible. And that really is what a therapist is for, is to give you the mental, splint or boot or crutch or whatever it is that you need at that point to enable you to heal. But the fact remains is that nobody can heal for you. And you cannot make other people heal. And that can be so incredibly frustrating, right? Because we know, especially if you're somebody who's has some, a bit of a background and that sort of stuff, especially for other people, not so much for yourself, but what they should be doing. But you can't make them. With the whole horse and water stuff, right? You cannot make people heal. You cannot make people do what's right for them or for others. It can be incredibly frustrating, but it is a really important thing to remember, that other people's wounds are not ours to heal. And on the one hand, it can be hugely liberating, because if you could heal other people, you would have maybe the responsibility to do that, right? And to some extent, if we call ourselves friends of people, then we do have a responsibility uh, to at least offer some sort of support if we can, to hold space, to listen, maybe, or or maybe just to cook them dinner, whatever it is that people need at that moment. But you can't make them heal. You cannot make things better. When our kids are little, we kiss the boo boo all better. That is so, you know, the power of the mind, right? It's unbelievable. You kiss the boo boo, and your child's belief in your powers helps them feel better. It's amazing what the mind does. And thank you for the hearts, people. I love it. Thank you so much. But the fact remains that you can't actually make that boo-boo better. What you do is you encourage your child to make themselves feel better. And it's what we do when we're adults. We can offer support, we can offer love, we can offer a listening ear, a supportive shoulder. We cannot fix people. We cannot make things better. And it's one of the hardest things when you're an adult and when your children are adults. Your children grow up and you can no longer fix their boo-boos with a kiss and a hug. And I was an extended breastfeeder. That was also a good thing for helping them feel better when they were really little. And all of those tools are gone. They're adults. I cannot kiss their boo-boos better. I can listen. I can sympathize. I can offer advice if they want it. I cannot make things better. And it's really, it's hard. It's hard to understand that you cannot make things better. But there it is. We are where we are. And I think I'm getting to the point of repeating myself here, but I cannot emphasize enough how important this is and how many people just don't seem to get it. And they get very angry and upset. And you cannot heal other people. And other people cannot heal you. That's the other thing. this live I was watching from this person I know, he was talking about, you can make people feel things. I don't know. I think I need to, I would love to have a conversation about the meaning of the word feel and make feel. Yeah, people, something happens and people have emotional reactions. Still don't think they're reacting to what the person actually said. They're reacting to their own perception of what that person said. But that's a whole different discussion. But the point is that, again, you cannot make people better. You also really cannot actually make people worse. I mean, people may feel worse after you've said what you've said. So it's always a good thing to try and be careful with what you say. Yes, somebody on TikTok whose name I can't pronounce, but yes, as you're saying, you can help people to heal. Yes, you can help people to heal. Absolutely, you can offer them support. You can, be a listening ear, a supportive shoulder, a source of advice if they want it. But they have to do the actual healing. It's not something that anybody can do for anybody else. And so that's what I wanted to talk about. And here I've been talking for almost 15 minutes. So I think I will be rounding this off pretty soon. But I would love to know what you think about this. I would love to see comments. I know the TikTok live comments are going to disappear, but you can send me, put messages or put comments on my other videos. And whether it's Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter, you can definitely leave comments on this live when it's done. So I would love to know your thoughts on this proposition that you cannot heal other people's wounds because, and more to the point, other people's wounds are not for us to heal. That's the other thing. It's a matter of humility as much as anything else. It's not just that we can't heal other people's wounds, although this is true, but it's also not for us. It's a matter of humility here. Other people's wounds, especially if they've got sacred wounds that run really deep from childhood, it's not for us to, try and stitch along the surface. Again, we can be supportive, we can offer help and all the things that people need, but they have to do the work themselves. And if they're not willing, if the light bulb doesn't want to change, doesn't matter how many psychotherapists are trying to change that light bulb, it will not change. So anyway, that's my thing for tonight. I would love to hear your comments on this. Like I said, on TikTok, you're going to have to send me a message or leave a comment on something. Yes, you can heal yourself with help. I mean, as my friend Lucky said, it is not a DIY project necessarily. You do need help, but the work the work has to be done by the person is the point that I'm making. Absolutely, people need support. It's not a DIY project. People do need support, but the work has to be done by the person with the wound. Nobody can heal for anybody else. So, yeah. So, user 9815, etc. I would love to chat with you outside of this live because, like I said, it will all disappear once it's done. Interesting thing about TikTok. Um, but on all the places where you're seeing it, well, and if you're seeing this on my YouTube, also you can leave a comment. Um, I think it's really important to have that humility and to approach every person who is wounded and who isn't. Who among us is not wounded, especially when you get to a certain age? For sure, you're going to run into some sort of stuff in your life. Um, with humility, with compassion, leave, hold space for people to not be perfect because everyone's broken. What did Leonard Bernstein, not Leonard Bernstein, Leonard Cohen, another musician. Um, um, well, yes, spiritual beliefs can definitely be helpful in terms of healing for sure. Um, as Leonard Cohen said, there's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. And yeah, the light can certainly come from all sorts of different places, including a spiritual thing. And so I'm going to close this down now. Thank you so much for chatting with me. And I would love to see your comments on this. And have a great night. And happy Lunar New Year again. Happy new month of Shvat. And have a great evening. And I'll talk to you again soon. Bye. That could end. And that could end. And that could end.